All praises to Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Bakat Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is just going to be a lesson revisiting that situation where you had that woman speaking to some people that had openly admitted that they were members of Edomite supremacy groups, right? And she was speaking with them and trying to get them to help her unalive so-called black men, right? And I've been thinking about that since I've came across that video on us, and I'm not surprised that they said it, right? But I was thinking this, like, they don't understand, like, the women of our nation, the majority of them, right? They're under the idea that it's us that's making them miserable in this world, right? They're under the illusion that, oh, we're keeping them down. We're the reason why people don't like them is because they don't like us, and really they don't like the so-called black woman, and they've got all these grievances against the so-called black woman because of the so-called black man. They don't ever consider that all the things that Dave did wrong. And this is not just a so-called black woman thing. This is a woman thing in general. And when you look up the psychology of these things, you find out that the majority of women are bugged out and wicked, which is the reason why the scriptures say that who can find a righteous woman, for her value is far above rubies, man. Because it would be. But here's the thing, most of them are not rubies, though. Most of them are not a ruby, man. They're garbage, most of them. And people can say whatever they want to say, oh, this guy disgruntled, he women hurt him or whatever you want to say. Because there's men that are rich in this world and they've got all the charisma and everything that people supposedly use to win, and they've still got a grievance against women as well. They've still got something to say. There's people that make significantly more money than me a year, and they've still got a grievance, so you can't blame the money thing. There's people that are in better shape than me, so you can't say, and they've got a grievance, so you can't say, oh, but you're not in good enough shape, though. You can't say none of those things. It's a woman problem, right? The majority of the women are not right. And the women of the nation of Israel have got it in their mind that they're going to blame the so-called black man for every single problem with them, even when he's not around, for as long as they can get away with it. For as long as they can get away with it, man. And that EBT thing, the reason why, like, people don't care about it is because of the so-called black women that are on there. Now, we as Israelites, we're not hypocrites, so we'll admit that there's other people on there, but they try and make the so-called black woman in particular the face of it. But the so-called black woman would rather choose that than her nation. If they was to just increase the amount of what you get for EBT to 50,000 a week, right? The majority of them women on that would never choose to be a part of the kingdom of heaven if it meant that they're gonna keep getting 50,000 a week, and then it matches for inflation. They'd be like, man, so you're telling me I can get 50,000 a week just from me having one kid, and every single kid that I get extra, that's another 50,000. Okay, I choose this. Like if in this world, right, women continue to get more and more child support money, child benefits, child EBT, whatever things, all these different financial programs based on the amount of children that they had, and there was no limit ever. A lot of these women would have 20 children, you know, not because they're trying to be fruitful and multiply, because they're trying to finesse. And you'd have women getting millions a year. You'd have women getting millions a year because they got children, and the children wouldn't end up living a nicer life because of this, because their mom's still a demon. The mom's still corrupt. A lot of them would end up obese because the mom's not feeding them right. She'd just be getting them takeout every single day, fast food that's jamming up their body. And yet for all this, they still try and make out like the men are the problem. Right? The men is the problem with everything that these women want to complain about, man. They just try and think it's the men. Oh, the reason why I'm not happy all the time is because the men are not doing what the men are not men in, the men are not this, the men are not that. But maybe you're angry all the time and you're sad all the time because you're a piece of shit and you ain't shit yourself. Consider that. Maybe you're angry because surely a pressure maketh a wise man mad, but you women ain't wise though. And I came across another video where a woman said something so stupid. She said, like this, she said, "Oh, you men are acting like we have to just live for you. I ain't trying to live for no man. I'm trying to live for Christ." This is how she worded it. And then somebody pointed out, but you know that this Christ that you're talking about is a man though, right? And then she went, "Psh, Christ came in the flesh. He is not a man. He is not a man." Yes, he fucking is, dumb bitch. He's the son of God, the only begotten son. Sons are men. Stupid motherfucker. But these women run their mouth. Like, it's getting to the point, yeah, where the judgment of the judgment of Esau can wait, because Esau is going to get judged for 1,000 years. The Israelite woman ain't going to be getting judged for 1,000 years, but she's going to get a harsh, brutal judgment in the day of the Lord, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to them, you know. If you want to call me a coon, you want to say I'm a sellout to my people, whatever, I'm not a sellout to my people because I believe we're the Israelites. You're a sellout to our people because you still think we're black. You still think we're black. And that the only thing holding us back is that we're not emulating the so-called white race good enough. And we ain't open no community centers. And that the men ain't prepared to pay all the bills. And then forgetting that part of the bills that the man's supposed to pay is for you women's weave and hair. How about you grease your head top, man, and wash and shampoo and condition your own hair, man, and take care of your own hair? How about that? Oh, but the people are staying are against us having our natural hair. Well, if there was millions of you in the world, all with your own hair, I think that would become socially acceptable for people to see and understand that women of this race have hair like that. And they wouldn't have no choice. Oh, you just don't understand. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Because decades ago, the women wasn't all wearing weave. They was having their natural hair out like that. Way more than they do now. You're just lazy about that kind of thing, and you want to make excuses, man. And then what's the excuse for why you're fat then? Because women will be quick to laugh at a man that's not tall enough. If he's below, from these women's standards, if he's below 6 foot, he ain't tall enough. Even though men that are 5'11" will be a good like 6-7 inches taller than the majority of women that they see in a day. But they'll try and make it like that's not tall enough in their fantasy. Create a player, man. And then it's getting to the point where who cares what they think? Because if it was to check how many men have drilled it out, right? A lot of them are way below 6 foot anyway, and a lot of them are definitely below the financial thing that they're talking about. So they're making these fake standards that they don't even stick to anyway, their own self. And got the nerve to say something about men, but let's get into the scriptures anyway, man. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? Who's found one? Any of you men out there, you found one? You found one. Because you found something that's far above the price of rubies. There ain't no verse in the Bible that says this in regards to men, though, for women to listen to, is there? There ain't a verse that says, who can find a virtuous man, for his price is far above rubies, because there's plenty more of them than there is of women. A righteous woman's rare. A righteous man is not rare, man. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he will have no need of spoil. Do the men in this world safely trust in their wife? Do they? Do all these men that are doing all this red pill stuff and they're talking all this about women, you think that they even trust their women? You think they trust them? You've got apostles saying that they don't even let women cook for them. That don't sound like they trust the women. What are they worried about? We all know. They're giving out advice, don't let women cook for you. The woman's supposed to cook for you in a righteous world, but that's good advice in this society, because they might do something dodgy with the food, man. They might put something dodgy in a bolognese. They really might, bro. They might do something dodgy, so that he have no need of spoil. She will do him good and evil all the days of her life. What woman did that in this society? So all you men running your mouth talking about men and saying this about men, when you're around each other and there ain't no men around, you're miserable. And it's all in a group between you, either talking about men or trying to get attention from men or hoping that men come over so you can say, oh, it's a girls' night right now. We ain't trying to holler at no one. Or if you go to a restaurant in pub or go somewhere in public and that, this is what some of you women do, man. There'll be space to sit alone by yourselves in your own female group, and you women might see a man with his woman, and you'll sit right next to them. Why are you doing that for? Sit by yourselves, man. But you're miserable and lonely your own selves. So you want to try and make somebody else as miserable as you are? Because people can say that we're angry as Hebrew Israelite men. You're damn right, I'm angry. Surely a pressure maketh a wise man mad. But you women try and make it like you're so different than the men. You're calling for Esau to try and get rid of us. But you're miserable yourself. If we was all got rid of, if literally every single so-called black man was not on the earth anymore, you'd have to come to the truth that you're still miserable. You still are not what you think you are, because it's a you problem. You're the problem. It's not all men are this and all that. No, you're the problem, man. A lot of you women out there, you're the problem. There's a dark hole within all of you, or let me say it like this, the majority of you, that you cannot fix because you're wicked. The scriptures is clear, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. All you men out there just seeking pleasure, you're just adding on more and more emotional turmoil. And then when it finally dies down, you realize, man, I ain't shit. And some of you women, once you really get put in your place and told of exactly what you are to your face, you can't handle it, man. So you'll be quick to try and rush and find an excuse to try and, you know what I mean? That's what Esau's doing right now. The whole financial system and all these things are crashing right now because Esau don't want to face the fact that he's a bad leader. So he's having to hide the fact of all the darkness that he's did under this curtain by, okay, the government shutdown's over, but what are we going to do now? Okay, we've stopped the government shutdown, but let's just crash everything so that people can't have the time to think and look at what we are actually doing. And actually that we're pieces of shit. We gotta find some, you women, you so-called black women and the Edomites literally have exactly the same mentality right now. It's like for like. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, man. It's truly sickening. And if somebody don't want to watch this video, it's fine. But I'm getting this information out there, man. I'm getting this off. Because this is what I've started to notice with the majority of Israelite women and Esau. She was all talking her mouth up, that woman that was saying all this about getting rid of black men, right? Which is really the Israelite, man. She was running her mouth saying, oh, we just want to date non-black men. They don't want you. They don't want you. That's the thing. And she wasn't saying, oh, we want to date non-black men. She wants to date the so-called white man, really. And he don't want her. That's the thing. He actually don't even want you like that. Because if he did, you wouldn't have to do all that. Oh, let's get rid of him so that we can be together. No one ain't stopping you from being with the so-called white man if you want to be with one. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it then, man. If that's what you feel. Don't threaten us with a good time. Go ahead and get lost then, man. Go and date them then, man. Because I don't feel threatened at all in any way, shape, or form by a so-called black woman telling me that she don't want to be with so-called black men. And here's the thing. I'm not here to kiss the so-called white woman's ass neither, because they're demons as well, man. And I ain't saying that nobody else out there is kissing the so-called white woman's ass. I'm just letting it be known the majority of the women in this society in general are dysfunctional and void of anything, any kind of understanding. And they've just basically became something that a man's gonna say as many lies as he can do to get the cheeks, and after that I'm out, because there ain't nothing else worthwhile for me to stick around after that anyway. So okay, I'll spend my little funky ass this or that on whatever dates bullshit that she wants to go on, and she's thinking in her mind, I found a sucker here. But no, she's gonna be the sucker. She's gonna be the sucker, and then after the guys did it, he's out, mate. And oh, she's thinking she finessed. Oh, I got 500 out of him or whatever it was for whatever dates and bullshit and that. But afterwards, she's got her body count increased And if that man had demons on him, she's got the same kind of stuff on her now. And then she's gonna run around saying whatever she's gonna say, forgetting what she did, that she wasn't nothing, man. These women are so lost in this world that their boast is that they ain't gonna cook for no man. But really, they don't know how to cook anyway, a lot of them. They don't even know how to cook anyway. Talking about they ain't gonna cook for no man. They don't know how to cook. Most of them. Most of them just copy whatever they've seen a man cook before and just repeat the same dishes over and over again, man. They don't try and go out of their way to try and really learn how to cook nothing new. They don't really do that, man. And then when you really like deep what this society the women actually requesting is they want to be able to just not do anything. Because they don't want to cook or clean, because they want you to pay and hire somebody to do that as well. They don't want you to be able to, if you're a man in this world, yeah, let's say that you're a man in this world that you make 5 million a month. You know the woman that you're with in this society, that's 60 million a year, right? She would not actually think that you should be able to have more than one wife. She'd think she deserves access to that whole 60 million. And let's say you was to be like, okay, I make 5 million a month, so 5 million is yours, but another 5 million, or let's say you made 65 million, you 5 million goes to you. And then all the other 5 millions are going to go to each of the wives that you're going to have. So you'd have 12 wives that all have 5 million a year each. You know, she'd be jealous. She'd be start worrying about what that woman's portion or what she's spending her 5 million on. None of your business. None of your business, man. And I seen something that pissed me off as well today, where some woman that's a TikToker or something like that, she got sued because she was sleeping with another woman's husband, right? But here's the thing: in a righteous society, they're supposed to both be with him. And when have you ever seen that kind of thing take place in favor of a man? So of course they'll do some alienation of affection law and all that when it comes to a woman having affection taken from her. But what about when it's happening to men all the time, when men's wives are sleeping with other people? And then that's not what you're supposed to do for the judgment anyway. The judgment is supposed to be unalived in a righteous society. Now in this society, it's going to be what it's going to be. But in a righteous society, someone's supposed to go back up to their heavenly house. Verse 13, she seeketh woolen flax, not a Birkin bag, and worketh willingly with her hands, not complaining on TikTok that the men ain't men and that the men ain't grinding and preparing to take care of all your bills, man. Because if most of these men was doing that, and you women didn't have to go actually to a job, what would you be doing instead? What would a lot of you been doing instead, man? Sitting back ordering bare things on Amazon Prime or something, man. What would you be doing instead? What would you be doing instead? Some of y'all wouldn't even go. Some of y'all wouldn't even go to the gym still, man. A lot of you are fat, man. Most of you women, once you get to your 30s, and it's not based on you just having that figure no more, you don't have one. And for damn sure when you're in your 40s. I'm hearing the apostles talking about all the gymming and all the exercise that they're doing. I ain't too sure their age, but I can surmise roughly what their ages will be. The women of their same age, you think they're doing that? Talking about going for walks and pushing sleds and doing all these exercises. They ain't doing that. And then they'd have the nerve to be wondering why men like that would not be wanting to holler at them. They don't want no woman of their own age. You want about, man? Of course they'd want a woman that's younger. Of course they would. Just like how if you women had the choice to have a man that's more handsome, charming, and richer, you're gonna choose the better option for you. So why the fuck don't you understand when men do it, man? What the hell is wrong with y'all? And then you try and shame older men for being with younger women. But when you was younger, you were doing that. Some of you women's daughters right now, when they're in their school clothes, are lusting after men that they know damn well are not their age, because their man ain't in no school clothes for starters. He ain't a school student for starters, so they know damn well he's older than them. Whether it be a college student, a university student, a grown man, a fully grown man according to the Yahweh and according to this world standards as well. And they'll be lusting after them. Lusting after the same men that they've seen you lust after. When you was taking them shopping and supermarket and all these different places, they're copying what you did. They're learning what kind of man to like from what they've seen you do. And you women have got the nerve to hating on you. Some of you women are hating on your own daughters as well, man. Overheard a conversation with a woman arguing with her daughter about how the father gave the daughter some money, a large-ish sum of money, like a 5-figure amount. I'm thinking to myself, why are you worried about that though? That's what I was thinking. Why are you worried about that? Shouldn't the dad give his daughter some money if he wants to? But she was sour really because she's not with the guy no more. And she's thinking that she deserves that money in somewhere in the back of her mind. But why does she deserve it, man? It's a smarter move in my mind in this society anyway for a father to spend the majority of the money that he's going to do all the nice things for a female. It's better for him to do it for his daughter than for his actual woman. According to how the women are in this society anyway. It's better for him to treat his daughter nice. Because the woman's like how they are in this society, they're just entitled and think they deserve everything in this world, man. And that's why they feel bold to try and go up to Esau and ask him to get rid of us. Not, oh, I want to be with so-called white men, so I'm just going to be with a so-called white man and what you saying you want me. No, she, like, that, it doesn't even make any sense. What she was saying, how does getting rid of so-called black men allow you to be better at dating any other race of men if they don't want you anyway? They don't want you anyway. I've never really seen too many times where no man of any other nation is really just lusting after a so-called black woman unless she's mega attractive. Like, they ain't just doing that. Not really, man. When I was at uni and all that, yeah, one Israelite woman there, one so-called black woman there that lived on the same floor as me or whatever, like she was just getting drilled out by these Edomites, but they weren't trying to wife her though. You know what I mean? They weren't trying to wife her. And she was 18, just getting battered out by 3 Edomites in a week. And I'm just thinking, ugh, you're a hoe. But I was cool with her or whatever. But I was thinking, man, you're a hoe though. Like, that's just gross. Even 3 in the semester is gross enough. But somebody was getting, I'm not even gonna sure that it was 3 in a week. But it was 3 in a month for that time when we was in that halls for damn sure, man. Like the way how it's socially acceptable for women to be harlots in university anyway is a problem that needs addressing. And that's why it's better for a man if he's got a daughter for her to not go university, because that's just the hub for harlotry. But then these women will want to try and wonder why, when it comes to the later on trying to get married, nobody ain't trying to wife it. Well, maybe because when you was in university, you was doing MDMA, sniffing up lined up your nose, banging down Jaeger bombs, tequila, and getting razzed off in your dorm room, mate. Maybe that's got something to do with it. And then you didn't only do it once, you did it loads of times, man. Like when you watch some of these drunk interviews that people are doing on the street and all that, the things that some of these women say are absolutely ridiculous. And it's not just the so-called black woman, but that's the women of our nation. So that's the women that can repent, and that's who we're going to address. And even though we'll say that the women of other nations are this and that, guess what? We can still deal with them if we want to. You women of our nation can't tell us what we can do. Because if you had the option to be able to get with some of these other people, of the men of these other nations, you would do it, but they don't want you. They don't want the average so-called black woman, they don't. Because the average woman of their nation acts better than the average one of our nation. So they ain't hollering at you like that. And that's the real reason that you're grieved. And that's the real reason why there's all this hypocrisy with interracial dating, because you women know, and even the woman that was saying that stuff about trying to get so-called white men to help unalive us, right? She was saying that we're getting too much praise in this world and all that, because she's really grieved that we don't have to change up ourselves to get with no women of no other nation, especially the woman that she's the most envious of, being the so-called white woman. We don't have to change up how we do. We don't have to change the way we talk. We don't have to change. I often see Jake when I'm just walking on the street with all different varieties of kind of women. See him with Asian, Chinese women, Korean looking women, Filipino looking women, white women with glasses, white women without glasses, white women with tattoos, septum nose rings, white women that wear looking like skaters. I see Jake with all kind of women. See him with all kinds of women. Man. When it comes to Eve though, it's not really the same like that. Not really, man. But and one of the main things that these Israelite women don't have yet to accept is that they're jealous of us, man. They're jealous of the Israelite man, but they won't address it. And some of you black simp men out there, yeah, you make me sick to my stomach as well, man. Because the moment that men start getting on the women, y'all want to come with, I think you hate women, and you just start simping off the scene, man. When you know deep down that what we're saying is right. But because you worship the so-called black woman's vagina and really believe all that Eve gene bullshit that she spewed out to you, you're scared to say anything. You're scared to death. You're a coward, bruv. I don't care how big your biceps and triceps are. A lot of you are cowards to speak the truth, man. Cowards. And you've only got smoke when it's your own a person that's got a similar looking face as you. When it's your own men of your nation. But when it comes to the women of your nation, you're a coward. When it comes to the men of any other nation, you're a scared hoe. Just like the so-called black woman, a lot of you, man. You'll scoff the life out of the Hebrew Israelites, but you ain't got nothing to say about the so-called black woman. Because your mums did a number on you, man, when you was younger. They did a number on you. They mentally damaged you. Was gaslighting the hell out of you. Oh, you can't see your dad right now because you don't want to see you. You know, your dad did want to see you. Your mum lied. Your dad did want to see you back then, all you bit of black, overgrown simps out there. Your dad did want to see you, but your mum just was sour that he moved on. She thought he wouldn't be able to move on, but he moved on. And she tricked you that your dad don't love you. Yeah? And you still haven't addressed that. Fix up, nigga. You niggas need to fix up. And this ain't no projection neither, because I knew who my dad was, mate. You know what I mean? I knew who my dad was. Yeah? I know what happened with my dad. I know what happened with my dad, mate. My dad was in my life for as long as he was able to. And this ain't me dissing no one else that didn't have that, man. But I'm just saying, because sometimes when in this world, when you say things and they start to sound true, people start thinking you're complaining about your own life. I can bun out things about what women do, and not every single thing that I'm saying has to be something going on in my life. I can bun out things with what people are doing with money and financial things and all these different things without it being exact points that's happening in our lives, man. But anyway, Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 14. She's like the merchant ship. She bringeth food from afar. Not men going on the internet and doing buying her DoorDash. Like what these men want. No, she'll bring food from afar. She'll cook a man some food and bring it to him. Not him growing him, oh, she's hungry. Can you send me a Just Eats? Can you send me a Uber Eats? Can you send me a DoorDash? Cook something in your house. I remember there was one video on the internet, man, where one so-called black woman was in a kitchen with her with her nan and that. And her nan was cursing her ass out, man, because she was complaining that there ain't no food. And her nan started opening up the fridge, opening up the freezer, showing all the food that's in the house, and cursing her ass out, saying, no, there is food in there. You just don't know how to cook, man. You're just lazy and don't know how to cook nothing. And that same kind of woman will be the type of woman that's saying that they ain't no good men, they ain't no this, they ain't no that. Like, women would expect men to just be able to fix anything in a house. If it breaks, if a door breaks, if a light breaks, if a window breaks, if they need to put in new carpet, new laminate flooring, if they need something to be repainted, if something goes wrong with the plumbing, if something goes wrong with the electrics, they'll expect men to just know how to do it. Women just expect men to just know how to do things in this world, right? But they don't even know how to cook when they have to eat. Cooking's a necessity. Those other things that I mentioned previously about having to fix the doors and having to fix floors and electricity and plumbing, those things are not necessity. This world tries to make out like they are, but they're not technically necessity, man. You can sustain your and being alive without those. You can't sustain being alive without food. You cannot. And the thing is, I would go so far as to say that more men know how to do DIY kind of things just naturally than women know how to cook in this world, man. And the thing is, you have to eat yourself. You have to know how to eat yourself, man. And you got women boasting that they ain't gonna cook for no man. Have you cooked for yourself? Because all you have to do when you're cooking for yourself and versus cooking for a man is, when you're putting them chicken wings in, or when you're putting them chicken fries or that chicken breast, bang another one in, mate, or another 1.5 in for the man because he's bigger than you, right? When you're making them mashed potatoes, instead of peeling two potatoes, peel 7, peel more, yeah, and then the man's gonna be able to eat some of them. You ain't cooking for no man. You just can't cook. Admit you can't cook. Yeah, don't try and be slick. You just can't cook, innit? I remember one next place, man. Like, some of these women really are gross, man. I'm gonna tell one story, man. I remember when I lived in one shared house accommodation back when I lived in London, man, as a student, yeah. And one of the people that the house was being shared with was one French woman, right? And I don't know if she was definitely an Edomite, but this is an attack on women being gross in general, right? Now, I ain't just no weirdo that's just listening out to see if people are washing their skin and nothing like that, or seeing if people are bathing themselves in that, yeah. But this woman lived in that same house while I was there, and I lived there a lot longer than she did, and she was there for a whole month, and not one time did I ever hear no water running for her to be cleaning herself. Not one time, man. But there was plenty of time when I would hear a knock on the door and it would be Domino's Pizza or Pizza Hut coming through. And then she just get this one was completely nasty, man. She was gross, bro. Absolutely disgusting, bro. Never one time did I hear any kind of water running to go wash yourself, and that's something that you'll hear when you're in your house now. All you people that live in a house now, when someone's bathing or running a shower or whatever, you can hear the water running, man. It's not no weird old thing, but not one time did I hear that go off. Not one time, and there was other people that lived there, and I heard it go off when they went and did it, and they would have heard it go off when I went and did it. But with this woman, not one time, man, did they shower that I was aware of for a whole month. But there was plenty, like double figures amount of times in that month that I heard a door knock, and it was a pizza delivery. A pizza delivery. Sometime I'm knocking and I'm thinking that it's something for me, so I'll open the door and it's a pizza delivery. So this is how gross some of these women are. And that woman still did not have a lack of being able to have men wanting to come through to clap the cheeks. So you women are gross, man. But that same woman right now is probably somewhere thinking that she the shit. Some French hoe. You understand? Like, garbage, mate. Now, some people might say, oh, why did you live with her? Well, in this particular situation, that shared accommodation thing, you didn't get to choose who you lived with in that one, right? I didn't get to choose who I lived with in that one, man. But anyway, that's just a small thing that I've experienced in this world to add on to the reason why I don't like this place, man, and why I can know certain things that this world's disgusting, man. Any man or woman that's been a student, even just for one semester, would know that these women are hoes, man. Most of these women walking around are hoes, bruv. They already was hoes in school, but when they go uni, oh man, forget about it, mate. Or college, let me say college for the American brothers out there, man. College and university, yeah. Absolute harlots, mate. And then they finally graduate and then they act like there's something stush. When they've done quadrupled or septupled their damn body count. And then say it don't matter. Body count don't matter. Okay, let's just I'm finna go in tonight, man. I don't care, man. Let's just say that body count don't matter. let's just say that body count don't matter. Okay, but the way how you're increasing your body count, that maybe does matter. So, oh, she's got a 5 body count, but there was all her boyfriends and they all passed away, and she waited a year between each one. Okay, that's a bit different. Then she got drunk and said, "Which one of y'all niggas finna go first?" to 5 niggas. I think that's a bit different depending on how she got her 5 body count, right? It makes a difference, right? A woman had 5 boyfriends, right? And then each of them passed away. She waited a year, got another man, so that she got her body count to 5 in like 5 years, right? Versus a woman that got drunk at a nightclub and said, "I got that WAP. Which one of y'all finna go first? I got it good like that." And then for all 5 of them have a go on her at the same time in a dark room somewhere. I think that makes a difference, right? But you want nothing to matter apart from everything to do with men. And it's not going to go that way, man. It's not going to go that way. Let's carry on, man. Verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth her field and buyeth it. Not women just wanting men to just be running around doing every single thing under the sun for them, and then they don't have to do nothing in return. These women in this world are considering how much, like, spying up a man's pockets, not so that he can increase himself. They're thinking on how to decrease his money. They're not thinking, oh, how can I tell that man to spend some of his money to increase his money? So, oh, there's a field here, honey. Buy this field, and then that's going to increase your wealth by 20% over the year. No, she's thinking, he better pay for my nails. That's what they're thinking. Like, some of these women are literally picking whether they're going to date a man based on whether he will or won't pay for some nails, and some weave. 2 things that ultimately they do not need. Okay, it might be a nice luxury that they want to have, but that's what you're going to decide whether you want a man over? Nails and weave? Really? But then if we decide who we want to pick a woman over based on whether she's got a double figure body count, triple figure body count, or single figure body count, oh man, you're a misogynist, huh? What are you on about? Misogyny whatness? What are you on about, man? I don't want to date a woman that's got a triple figure body count, mate. So you can take your massages and all that mystic stuff and do one. How about that? If you don't want to date a woman because she's fat, oh, you're body shaming. Like, they've just got, and that's Esau. That's the Edomite within them, man. That's that same quality that they have of Esau, because he's always got an excuse as well. Oh, what have you got a chip on your shoulder, mate? But they've never got a chip on their shoulder, though, have they? Whenever they're complaining and crying about how England ain't the same anymore, and that, oh, diversity is our best friend, doctors and engineers, 13% of people do 13% things, basketball people, usual suspects, that's not a chip on their shoulder, is it? It's just observations, isn't it? But when we observe that they're a bunch of assholes that need to go into captivity according to prophecy in the Bible, oh, it's a chip on our shoulder. Yeah, whatever. Verse 17. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth out not by day, out not by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. Is that what these women do in this world, where they're just always bawling about how they're just so grieved, man? Trying to play the victim all the time? Trying to make it like they've just always got an excuse, man. The women in this society. Oh, the patriarchy. Oh, the this, the that. Oh, the men ain't doing this. The men ain't doing it. Okay, what are you doing though? What about what you're doing in life? Because the blame, I made a video before where I said it was titled something along the lines of the blame it on the so-called black man trick isn't going to work forever. And that was a video that I believe I addressed both the women of this world and the Edomite man, because that's been a trick of this world for a long time. When it's going bad, just blame the so-called black man. Just blame him all the time. When your women's lives are going bad, just blame the black man. When the Edomite man's life's going bad, just blame the so-called black man. That'll get it done. No, that's not gonna work all the time, man. Verse 21, she's not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. But in this world, the woman's gonna be known in the gates, man. Oh, that's Shanisha. I mashed off the cheeks one time back in the day, but yo, what was it saying? What was it saying? You think I could get some? Yeah, all you have to do is get her a this and that. Like that's the kind of conversation that men can actually have in this world about some of you women. That shouldn't be a thing that they can do. There shouldn't be 5 men. Even 5's too many. There shouldn't be 5 men that can all sit back and be like, yo, so how was it? What moves did you do on her when you was with her? Oh man, I did my thing. They shouldn't be able to do that, but they can though. You know them little demonic ciphers that you women do when you all try and compare notes on men? That you've all dealt with the same man and you try and compare notes. Well, there's men that can do that about you. And that's when these women made that T app bullshit, right? And then men came out and was on the T on her app. It was finding out that you women are not as righteous as you think you are. All these women was trying to compare notes on men that they've all dealt with, right? Or been with and that. But there was men that was able to do the same thing on you, showing that you're hoes. Because according to the Bible, women are supposed to be with the same. Some women are allowed to be with the same man if they're his wives, and they're not another man's wife. But the women are not supposed to be doing the alternative, man. They're supposed to be 10 men, 5 men, 2 men that can all compare notes about what it was like being with you. But in this world, they can do that though. You ain't got no integrity to speak of, man. The majority of you. Now, have some got it? All right, whatever. But the majority of you haven't, man. The majority of you are lusting after, like, the majority of you men complain about men committing adultery right now, but are fantasizing about sleeping with your woman, your best female friend's man right now. And rather than be like, girl, you know I'm single, and you know your man Tyrone, yeah? He's a good man, isn't he? You said he treats you good, so let's both make him happy, girl. How many of you men are gonna do that in this world, man? How many of you are gonna do that? There'd be a fight up in that building if they said that. Girl, that's my man. Yeah, but you're always telling me about how good he is, trying to make me jealous. So I wanna see what it's like as well. Nah, girl, that's my man. I was just trying to make you jealous, girl. That's my man. How about we both have him? Nah. You know what I mean? Because that would make him happy. So nah, we can't do that. Some of you women right now be bringing your female friends over to the house to try and prove to her, like, this is how much I got this man on lock. I got him on lock. He does everything I want. Mate, you're trying to make your female friend jealous with your man. Make him be his second wife, man, and shut your mouth. How about you do that? But they ain't gonna do that though, are they? Now, someone out there will say, see, that's what this guy's obviously going through. No, it ain't. We've analyzed this world, man. And we know what the hell is going on down here. We know what's going on down here, man. We know. You people are not hard to read. You're the same lost version, what we used to be in the world, without changing. If we wouldn't have changed, you're what we used to be like. So we know what you people are like, man. Verse 20, Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 20. Man. And verse 25, strength and honor are clothing. Do the women of this society right now have some honor? No, they don't. They have a high body count, at OnlyFans, and running their mouth abilities, man, and bearing bare false witnesses on men. That's what they got nowadays. And she shall rejoice in the time to come. A lot of these women right now are not going to be rejoicing in the time to come. They're going to find themselves through. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. Are these women's tongue is the law of kindness? Or are they trying to back men up, man, with their mouth, running their mouth off? Coming with that beginning before the rebuke. First of all, as soon as they say first of all, you know that the next thing coming out of their mouth is going to be the babblings of an idiot buffoon, man. First of all, second of all, and the first of all lasts about an hour if you stick around long enough. If he's simple enough to stick around for it. All on them Kevin Samuels and stuff like that, man. Like them women, man. Some of them calls that he used to get were absolutely abysmal. Women would be calling in on his show about how to get a high value man, and they're married. You understand? There'd be women that are married calling into the show, talking about, so Kevin, how can I get a high value man? He'd hit him off with the line. So, how old are you? Dress size? How much was you the last time when you weighed yourself? Fresh face out of the shower, and you can't use 7. I think I'm 5'2". I'm 775 pounds, and I'm a dress size 4, ma'am. You damn sure ain't no dress size 4. Ma'am, who the French toast you think you're talking to? Who the French toast? And they hit him off with their lines. Do not overtalk me. Do not overtalk me. Tell him about themselves. And they'd still, after they got off the call, they'd still think he don't know what he's talking about. And then they'd be married as well. Now, exaggerated with the weight of some of these women. But man, everything else is pretty much how it goes, man. So I'm supposed to settle for some regular type dude? So I'm supposed to settle for some regular type dude? And a woman's 5'2", 200 pounds. Talking about settle for something, you know. You should have settled for 2,000 calories a day instead of 5,000. But those are going to be them women are not perished right now. Those women are still alive. They're going to have to go through the day of Yahweh's wrath. Most of the women that called him to that Kevin Samuels show, they're going to have to step in to the day of the Lord. You think they're going to be able to handle it? Are you going to be, if you're a brother of the elect right now, you gonna have one of them as your wife? You going to do that? Are you going to allow them to have gone running their mouth saying all that and then be able to end up getting away with it, basically? Then they'll have basically got away with that disrespect of running their mouth in this world. If you end up helping them by making them one of your wives, you'll have made them be able to have got away with it and get the greatest honor that they can get as being one of the elect of the nation of Israel. Like, nah, that don't sit right with me anyway. Verse 27, she looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed. That's not what these children are saying about their mums in this world, man. Not really, man. And the thing is, the true test of whether your children are going to call you blessed is not when they're young, man. And that's what a lot of you mums don't understand. When your children are young, right, not even gone through puberty, they don't know nothing. But the moment that these children start going through puberty and start seeing what their mum does, they realize, man, their mom's an idiot. And they start disrespecting their mum. They don't want to listen to nothing that their mums have got to say, because they know their mum don't know nothing. They know she don't know nothing, man. That's just what it goes. That's what happens in this world. And that's starting to become a bigger trend. That used to be a trend among Esau, but it's starting to become a big trend amongst Jake, man. Verse 29, many daughters have done virtuously, but thou exceedest them all. And a woman that does that would exceed all the other women. So before you men start going up in this world trying to compete with men, how about you compete with women first? You men are out there trying to be the man of the year. You ain't even the best woman on your road, a lot of you. And there's one of the elders that goes into how you women these days are not even more righteous than Rahab the harlot, man. And she was a hoe. And it's true. A lot of you men these days are really not better than Rahab the harlot, man. They're not even. Like it's actually sad when you think about it, man. Verse 30, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth Yahweh, she shall be praised. And how many women really fear Yahweh? You're not even prepared to accept he was a man. You're not even prepared to accept that he's a so-called black man as well. You want to always talk about your mama black bullshit. Mate, you're not our mom, bro. Whether our mom's black or whatever you want to say, you're not our mom. And we can still be an Israelite man, even if our mama wasn't a so-called black woman. You can't be an Israelite without your dad being an Israelite man. So you better show more fucking respect than based off that. But the reason why people ain't got no manners in this world is ultimately because Yahweh's loosened the ass whoopings that people can receive, man. He's loosened the physical judgments that this world provides, or that the laws of himself provide, man. And so lucky for this rant video, man. But I wanted to get this off, man, because I've been thinking about that, how these women have actually got the nerve to try and blame men for everything. And then when you look at them, you realize they ain't nothing themselves. They ain't nothing themselves, man. But you got our women of our nation trying to seek for us to be taken out of the earth by the same man that's trying to take them out of the earth. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, Shalom TDX, Shalom.